The secret to the highest quality fish you can eat is not eating it fresh. It's quite the opposite. Let me show you what I mean. Yes! Hi, and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of my epic fishing adventure in Traverse Bay, Michigan, catching king salmon. If you haven't watched part 1, you might want to go back and check that out. This episode is all about how you process your fish to make the highest quality product possible. And we do that through dry aging. Dry aging is a technique that is only just making its way through the culinary world in the United States, despite the fact that other cultures have been doing this for centuries. And as is the case with dry aging meat from land animals, we can sometimes be lulled into a false sense of needing a lot of money or expertise to make high quality food. But that's not the case with dry aging your wild caught fish. Let's pick things up on the boat with Captain Jordan, and let me show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality salmon at home.
You're just gonna jump out and grab it yourself?
I won't even need to.
Wow. That's impressive.
Like that.
Can you comment?
Boom.
So that's the coho, right?
Koa, I think, is at the bottom because
Yeah.
it would have been the first one he pulled out. Yeah, that's a Chinook. You're gonna get wet, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna process them the same way as him though.
Oh.
I'm just gonna fillet them out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just want to gut them so that, because we want to take them as whole as possible. Yeah, look at the size of that heart. Look at this heart
Wow.
Where's its brain?
up in its head. Okay, so Ashley,
Yeah.
as you saw, into the anus all
Yeah.
the way up, and then you separate the gills from the gill arches,
Uh-huh.
and then what you're looking for is to get, look at that big blood clot that came out
Yeah.
of there. So then, what I'm trying to do is then just like pull all, look at that, see? It comes
It
out.
all comes out.
And all of this is sperm sacs.
Oh my god.
All of this is sperm.
Wow. That's insane.
What is
Sperm is where the males make the,
Oh,
yeah. So like you can keep these and eat these.
see?
You could eat it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just like you can roe.
Oh. What is this rope?
Oh, yes.
That's it.
Okay. Hey folks, I just wanted to take a break and let you know that one of the best ways to get the most out of the content on this channel is to subscribe to my newsletter. Every Sunday, I give you more depth and insight into the topics I cover on Out There JCH, including thoughts and perspectives that I don't really share on this platform. The newsletter is free to sign up, and as an incentive to becoming a subscriber, I'm offering a free wild food resource guide that will help make you a more capable harvester and home cook. Just click the link in the description to sign up. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Why don't you finish this cut all the way up?
Okay.
Nice. And then if you work on just separating the gills from there. Fish livers.
Are they good to eat?
Yep. How's it going, Ashley?
I mean, these are
Oh.
there.
Yeah. If you're pulling the whole guts out, that's a lot of.
I haven't pulled anything out.
Okay, it's all good. Great. That we don't want in there.
Is that your spine right there?
Yeah, but I want to get more of this congealed blood out. Because the blood is what's going to make the fish spoil
Yeah.
quicker. So look, see? But there's a huge blood vessel that runs along the top here. Look at that. And it just all comes out. You get this out, you can keep your fish longer, and it'll be nice and fresh. Oscar, would you rinse this out, please?
Yeah.
Rinse my hands and rinse it out. Yep. Good job, dude. Keep going. Oh yeah. Well, it's gonna get wet. See that blood vessel, Oscar? You see that? Hold up, stop. You see that? I can push the blood out. Look at that. Boop.
All right, Jonathan.
Yeah. What's up?
How do you want? How do you want to get these?
Okay. Here.
Nice.
I'm gonna take the whole row of guts out, or whole bit of guts out. Okay. We're just gonna take this whole thing out, and then we'll
Pull them.
and then we'll pull the eggs out of there. Yeah. So get that. You can, but okay. So let's see what this liver looks like.
Sack?
Yeah, they're all in a sack, and we want to keep it as in the sack as possible. Come on. Oh. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so you want to take your knife and cut that because that's a vessel, and then get all of that gunk out of there, and it'll be good.
Oh yeah, it is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, is this pop-ups?
Yes. 2 hens so far.
Is this the male?
Don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
And male. This is the male. We won't keep the sperm on this one. Ta-da! Yes! She's a hen! Let's go!
You know, the Toho, even more than the Kings, have a very pronounced jawline and cape on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And they have big teeth on, one on each side, just if they're males, just like the Kings do. So you can notice even more of a hook on that male.
Gotcha.
You know, the Toho eggs, as far as using the eggs for bait, which we do a lot,
Yeah.
the coho eggs are even more productive than the king eggs, just being a little different color and being a little smaller.
Oh, really? Interesting.
You got more orange in the color. They just seem to be a little brighter.
Yeah. That's
And salmon love eating salmon eggs, but the steelhead go crazy fast.
yeah. That's what I've heard.
Up the river for after the salmon, they spawn in the spring, but they come up and follow the salmon up to eat all the eggs.
To get the eggs. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, watch out, Oscar.
Now, what are we gonna do with all these eggs?
Make something delicious. Oh, look at that, a goby.
What's goby?
It's a small fish.
If they eat it,
Yeah.
Eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, wow, that's a pretty fish. That is a pretty fish.
We only got one.
Mm.
Nice. Good job.
So I teach a animal physiology course and a intro to zoology course. So this is going to be, all this footage is going to be perfect. Yeah. You know, and it's
Nothing better than having fun catching fish and then being able to use it as a learning experience at the same time.
exactly. Yeah, and again, just slimy. Do this in a way that I'll be proud of. All the way down behind the head. You just want to unzip here all the way down. See your knife on the skeleton. Oh, am I on the other side? I cannot tell. Yeah, it's this bit that's hard to tell, and I think I've got skeleton on the inside. Yeah, I do. So yeah, it can be difficult to sort of like find exactly where this line is on the skeleton, and I went a bit too deep to start because this is cutting into the other side of this fillet. So what I'm gonna try to do is make up for that in my cuts up here. But there we go. Okay, so feeling a lot better about this job. Yeah, so this is what you want to see. Nice skeleton. So it's a bit challenging because these spine bones are very soft, and if you don't have a lot of experience knowing where exactly to cut, you can end up cutting on the other side of things. So it's going to make the other side a little bit challenging, but again, we're learning. Then you find the bone and then up. Sever the connection with the pin bones. Good. And then you're coming down on top of the ribs. Nice, steady cuts along the top of the ribs. Resting the knife on the ribs, see? So that's much better. Okay, so that is still a bit of a mess in terms of there's like folds of things where I'm making cuts that are not quite precise, but this is more of what I want the salmon fillets to look like, and I can trim up these sorts of things. And also the reason why I like this technique is because I don't have to worry about separating the rib cage. And if you look at this, like I can see my fingers through this. It's translucent, so I didn't leave a lot of meat. I didn't leave a lot of meat on the ribs here, and I've got a really meaty fillet. So in the different ways that you could fillet your fish, whether it's a slicer that a lot of people like to do and just sort of swipe through, versus a chef's knife, which I think is a more sushi chef Japanese style of filleting fish, where you cut through the rib cage and then cut it off afterwards, or the way that Reed the Fishmonger does with this knife. I think this is the way that I want to do things, because it just gives me a lot of better control over what exactly I'm doing. And yep, you can see that. Look at that. Just sort of taking off a chunk. Chomp, chomp, chompity, chomp, chomp. Go for it. I don't mind. It's a little bit of food that, you know, these yellow jackets, which are also really important for keeping our garden pest free. If they want to take a little chunk, that's fine. I'm not going to lose much sleep over that. But again, coming back to the skeleton, the fillet job quality is going to be evidenced by the skeleton. So you can cut off this fin area here. That, okay. And I will just leave this fillet whole and put this in the freezer or in the cooler right now. So yeah, so that is, I think, a much better job. So let's do this other side. Filleting the second side of a fish is always really tricky for me. You don't have the benefit of a thicker piece to work with, and so things slide around a little bit more than you'd like, and, you know, it just takes some practice to get it right. I'm still not quite there. There we go. Okay. So that's not as good as the other side, but the underside is a lot harder. But I would say that, like, all in all, that's not too bad. I ended up preserving a lot of meat. You know, we have this plug here, and then some of the top side of the fish here. But all in all, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Better than the last. The dry aging process couldn't be simpler. Well-processed fish, a wire rack, a cookie sheet, some space in the fridge, and time. That's all you need. So we're here in the new kitchen, not quite fully functional, but that's a little preview for what's to come for that. But I wanted to show you the fillets that I aged for a week, actually over a week now, in the fridge, and there's no smell to them, and they just look really nice. They've gotten kind of this nice texture to them, kind of leathery texture, but still have some moisture. The pin bones, which I'm going to pull out in just a second here, are protruding, but I just like the way that this looks. And all I've done is set them on a cookie sheet on a wire rack and just set them in the fridge for a whole week at about 30 degrees. So it's really incredible that the fish has sort of taken on this texture and feel kind of like Dry Aged Fish Guy does with his curing chamber. So I really like the way that this looks. It's still, you know, good quality fish, doesn't smell at all, and I'm really happy with it. So let's get these pin bones out, and then I'm going to vacuum seal the stuff up. These are the lake trout fillets. You can see by the very orange texture that they have. But yeah, I think I'm going to start doing this with all the fish that I catch, having room in the fridge in the garage to just let this stuff, let these fillets just sit in the fridge and age and cure. I think it's really going to make the fish better. So yeah, let's get started on this. Okay, so removing pin bones from a aged fillet is a joy. These are the pin bones that came out of the right there. These are the pin bones that came out of both fillets of the trout. They came out really easily, and I'll show you the tool that you'll want to use. So the best tool for this is the Dry Aged Fish Guy's, what is this? Bone tweezers. There are like a more traditional looking tweezer thing that you can buy, but nothing works better than these. These are absolutely incredible, totally worth it, especially if you're going to be catching, you know, fish that have pin bones that you need to have removed. Like, this is the way to go. But when I tried to do this with tweezers before, and then also with these, it was a lot harder to pull out the pin bones. So being able to dry age these fillets in the fridge is really helpful for being able to remove the pin bones. So what you end up with is something that looks like this gorgeous package of fish, and the flavor has been concentrated because it's been dry aged for a week. So I really do think that this is the way that I want to go with most of my fish. And I guess maybe I'll talk about like why it's important to treat your fish really well when you bring it on shore and you're cleaning it, because it sets up your ability to do this. But I'll talk about that like separately. But this is just amazing. Being able to dry age this for that amount of time. I'm also removing the bellies because I want to keep those separate, because you can see there's a fair amount of fat on here, and that's not going to age as well in the freezer. And what I'll probably end up doing is just cooking these maybe in the next couple of days, just to see what the flavor of these bellies is, and probably on the charcoal grill, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and just some charcoal, and just taste it to see what that flavor is like. This portion of the tail I cut off. This is the portion that has a fair amount of fat in it, so it's also a portion that you don't necessarily want to freeze. And there tends to be blood that's retained in the tail that you just can't get out. So I'm gonna discard this because I don't think it's gonna be that tasty. But anyway, just, you know, the post-processing process of handling fish. But I'm really pleased with how things have turned out. So I'm gonna finish with these and then get going on the salmon fillets, because I have a lot of fish to put away. A lot of fish. Okay, so the salmon fillets look pretty good too. I'm gonna try to show you here. You can see the bones sticking out. These are the pin bones that you're gonna want to remove. And they are hard to pull from a fresh fish. Let's see how they do, if I can do this one-handed. The pin bones of a Chinook, okay, those are coming out pretty good. The pin bones of a Chinook are harder to remove than they are for a coho, in my experience, and for a lake trout. But by aging these fillets in the fridge for a week, it seems to be an easier job. So I'm gonna get these out. I mean, and they're like more than halfway down the fillet. It's a lot of work, or it's a lot of pin bones to remove. but aging them in the fridge is the way to go for sure. So yeah, it's a lot easier now than it was when it's fresh. Dry aging your fish at home is so much more accessible than I originally thought. And I really like the fact that this process is a culmination of the different fish processing techniques that I've been learning and sharing with you on this channel. After dry aging my salmon fillets at home, I can say that I'm never going back. I'm in the process of building a dry aging chamber at home so that I can dry age fish whole and really take this technique to the next level. Okay, if you made it this far without watching part 1 of this series, you're gonna wanna go back and watch how this process began. If you're looking for more content from this channel, YouTube is gonna recommend something for you now. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on